There are mysteries that haunt the human soul, not with ghoulish specters, but with the chilling emptiness of the unknown. They are the stories that defy logic, that leave us staring into a void, searching for answers that never come. And perhaps it is in these very voids, these profound silences, that the most potent lessons lie hidden, waiting for us to listen. Imagine, if you will, the bustling docks of Portus, the air alive with the cries of gulls, the rhythmic clanging of cargo, the salty temps of the sea. It was from this vibrant tableau that the cargo vessel the Eterna embarked on a Tuesday morning, precisely at 7 o'clock. Her destination, the distant shores of Valeria's Bay, a routine 2-week voyage across the vast, indifferent ocean. Aboard her, a crew of 22 souls, each with their own stories, their own dreams, their own families waving goodbye from the shore, or simply holding them in their hearts. Captain Elias Thorne, a man of quiet competence and decades of sea experience, stood on the bridge, overseeing the departure. Everything seemed normal. But that's the insidious thing about some mysteries. They begin in the mundane, in the utterly predictable. The Eterna was a familiar sight, a workhorse of the waves, her safety record reported as acceptable, her maintenance logs seemingly normal. The weather forecast for her initial leg was calm, a gentle swell, clear skies. Yet, as we delve deeper into the unwritten chapters of her final journey, we begin to feel the subtle tremor of unease. What truly constitutes acceptable when lives are at stake? What is normal when the very fabric of reality is about to unravel? The official reports spoke of ordinary conditions, but whispers from other vessels in the vicinity that week spoke of an unusually turbulent, unpredictable sea, a restlessness beneath the surface that defied the forecasts. Were these just sailors' superstitions, or were they the first faint echoes of a warning unheeded? The timeline of the Eterna's disappearance is a tapestry woven with threads of fact and gaping holes of speculation. She departed on schedule. Her initial communications with Maritime Operations Command, or MOC, were crisp and routine. Position reports, weather updates, crew welfare checks, all logged, all seemingly in order. For the first 3 days, the Eterna was a diligent presence on the global tracking systems, a tiny digital icon making steady progress across the blue expanse. Then, the first anomaly. A scheduled check-in was delayed by an hour. Captain Thorne cited a minor technical issue with a secondary communications system, swiftly resolved. MOC noted it, but given the ship's reliable history, no red flags were immediately raised. It was a blip, a momentary stutter in the smooth rhythm of a long voyage. But in hindsight, every such blip takes on monumental significance. The logbook, meticulously maintained for decades, suddenly showed suspicious gaps. Entire sections of critical navigational data, fuel consumption, and engine performance reports were either missing or unusually brief for the period leading up to the ship's final known position. Was it negligence, an oversight, or something far more deliberate? A desperate attempt to obscure a truth unfolding on board? The last definitive communication from the Eterna came on the evening of the 4th day, a standard position update and a brief report of fair weather. Then, silence. Not a sudden, abrupt cessation, but a slow, creeping fade. Her transponder, the very heart of her digital identity, simply stopped. One moment, a beacon of light on the mock screen. The next, a blank space. No distress signal. No frantic call. Just an absence. The ship had vanished from tracking systems, not with a bang, but with the quiet, terrifying efficiency of a ghost slipping into the night. Looking back, the signs, like faint whispers on the wind, were there. If only someone had truly listened. There were reports, buried deep in maintenance files, of recurring malfunctions with the primary communication equipment, issues that had been flagged, acknowledged, but never fully addressed, deemed non-critical, or deferred for next dry dock. Technical reports detailing intermittent power fluctuations and sensor discrepancies had been submitted by the engineering team months prior, only to be met with delayed responses or worse, ignored altogether in the push for cost efficiency and tighter schedules. And then there were the questions surrounding Captain Thorne himself. A seasoned mariner, yes, but some junior officers had privately expressed concerns about a series of recent decisions, a deviation from standard storm avoidance protocols on a previous voyage, a seemingly impulsive change of course that added hours to a delivery. These were minor infractions in the grand scheme. Isali dismissed as a captain is a prerogative, the wisdom of experience. But cumulatively, they painted a picture of a man perhaps under pressure, perhaps making choices that edged closer to the line of acceptable risk. Were these the actions of a captain pushing limits, or were they the subtle indicators of a greater, unseen force at play, compelling him down an irreversible path? We will never know. The moment of absolute silence arrived with a chilling precision. It was 7 o'clock on the 5th day. The exact time, the Eterna was due for her next routine check-in. At Mach, the watch officer, a diligent young woman named Sarah Jenkins, waited and waited. The seconds stretched into minutes, the minutes into an agonizing hour. Her calls to the Eterna. Went unanswered, met only by the sterile, repeating tone of an unconnecting line. The dread began to set in, a cold, creeping sensation that tightens the chest. Protocol dictates a graduated response, but as the hours bled into an entire day, and then another, the alarm escalated. The Coordination Center launched an immediate search operation, dispatching Coast Guard vessels, naval ships, and aerial reconnaissance planes to the Eterna last known position and beyond. The area was scoured, mile by agonizing mile. Families, alerted to the ominous silence, gathered at Portus, their faces etched with a desperate hope that slowly, relentlessly, gave way to despair. News reports flashed across screens, painting the stark reality of a vanishing act on an unprecedented scale. But the vastness of the ocean is an unforgiving canvas. Days turned into weeks. The search radius expanded to unimaginable proportions, yet the sea yielded nothing. No life rafts, no wreckage, no oil slick, not a single piece of debris that could be definitively linked to the Eterna. It was as if she and her entire crew had simply ceased to exist. What is known is terrifyingly simple. The Eterna departed Portus, followed her prescribed route, and vanished from all tracking systems at a specific time and location. The last factual communications were logged, the last weather reports analyzed. What is unknown, however, is an abyss of unanswered questions. What truly happened on board? Why was there no distress call, no desperate plea for help, no warning? How could a vessel of her size, with modern safety equipment, disappear so completely, so swiftly, without leaving a single trace? The speed of her disappearance suggests something catastrophic, something instantaneous, yet the lack of wreckage defies all conventional explanations. Eventually, as all resources were exhausted and all hope faded, the official case was closed. The Eterna and her crew were declared lost at sea. But the closing of a file does not erase the questions. It only enshrines them, leaving them to echo in the minds of those left behind. The sea, in its profound and ancient wisdom, holds its secrets close, guarding them with an impenetrable silence. And that silence, as we have learned, is not proof of innocence. It is often the loudest testament to the truths we failed to confront, the warnings we chose to ignore, and the fragile nature of our existence in a world far grander and more mysterious than we often comprehend. This story of the Eterna is not just a maritime tragedy, it is a profound metaphor for life itself. We embark on our own journeys, charting courses, making plans, often overlooking the subtle warning signs, the malfunctioning equipment in our own lives, the delayed reports from our intuition, the questionable decisions we justify. We sail through periods of acceptable conditions, believing we are safe, until suddenly the silence descends. What are the logbook gaps in our own narratives? What are the ignored technical reports about our well-being, our relationships, our purpose? The mystery of The Eterna compels us to look deeper, to listen more intently, not just to the storms brewing outside, but to the whispers within. For in a world where even the most solid vessels can vanish without a trace, perhaps, the greatest strength lies not in finding all the answers, but in learning to navigate the profound questions with an open heart and an unwavering spirit. The sea may hold its secrets, but it also reflects the deepest truths about our own human voyage. If you found this video helpful, consider subscribing.